I don't even know about it all. Super Bowl picks.
Rams, Chiefs. Chiefs win.
Same.
Rams, Chiefs win.
I don't want it to be. I want it to be Bengals, 49ers.
It's still so boring. I wanted Packers, Bills all day. Like,
Yeah.
give me the two best teams. Because the Chiefs, I'm sorry, I don't think they were the best team. I think that was the big issue with the game.
Wow.
If you follow my Instagram, you saw my rants.
Yeah. You really made your like rant debut on Instagram, you know, like
You saw it?
yes. I log on my computer and
I
I
see.
check it out sometimes.
Like video? How did you do it? Or did you
No,
just type?
I just had several typing situations. That game where it was such an offensive power, like the freaking defense couldn't walk the next day.
Yeah.
So you give the team a coin toss and they win. You know, it's trash. It shouldn't be that way. One of my old friends sent me an Instagram message in response to that, and they were like, "The best take that I've seen on this is even if it was a freaking game of horse with the kickers, it would be better than that.
Wow.
The kickers just played horse."
That's funny.
And then someone else sent me, keep the overtime rules how they are, but do the XFL scramble. You guys ever seen that?
No, what's that?
It's like in the XFL, they instead of a coin toss, the two players would line up and like run to the ball, and whoever possessed the ball first.
Oh my gosh. That sounds like a torn ACL waiting to
That
happen.
sounds really
Yeah,
dangerous.
I think that's kind of the XFL's vibe. Danger.
What's going to be the most dangerous?
Yeah. Shout out Vince McMahon. Is
Oh,
that his name? The WWE guy?
He made the XFL?
I think so.
Huh. My brother was telling me that, you know how the overtime thing happened to the Chiefs? Yeah, I wanted us to watch this. It's a video. It is so funny. Before you played, though, my brother was telling me that apparently the Bills voted down to change the overtime rules. Because remember, there was the huge uproar when the Chiefs lost in 2018 to the Pats for the same exact reason.
Mm-hmm.
They like petitioned a change, and one of the teams that voted against the change was the Bills.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so the Bills ate their cake.
Some journalists found that and they were like, yeah.
My story. This is my story.
I think college football has really hit it right. Like where
I
they are
agree.
now is in a really good spot with like after double overtime, it's just all 2-point conversions. That's fun. No ties.
Because you can't.
Even if they kept ties, whatever, let it be 3 possessions and then tie or something. But
Yeah, and you can't argue if each team gets a shot.
yeah,
Even if it's something crazy, each team gets a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, except that, did you see that like bowl game with Tennessee in overtime where they stopped the play early and the running back scored, and then did you ever see that?
no.
Tennessee was in the bowl game versus somebody. I don't remember. And, the running back was trying to score, and he was like pushing towards the goal line, and he stretched out his arm, and he made it. But they blew the whistle, and then they reviewed it, and they're like, nope, play was dead. And everybody was really up in arms over that for a long time, too.
Wow.
So sorry, Tennessee Volunteer fans, but tough. Consider us.
Overall, you can't complain about the weekend of football. It was excellent.
I think the Bengals will make it. I think the Bengals will beat the Chiefs. They're hot.
The Bengals defense, though, is pretty bad.
Hey, they held Derrick Henry to not that much action, and
Which, granted,
he was
rusty.
fresh. Okay, yeah, I get it. But they're hot. And with the Niners and the Bengals being in the conference finals, you just really goes to show that hot teams play hot,
This 49ers situation kind of makes me think of the Eagles Super Bowl with Nick Foles a few years ago. I know Jimmy G has been the starter for most of the year, but he's not the quarterback that the other teams have
Sure.
as of current. Everyone was expecting Trey Lance to be starting by this point, but there's pretty good potential that Jimmy G could be the Super Bowl MVP right now. And then what does that mean for next year? It's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing with the Eagles. Like, what do we do with Nick Foles? I don't know where Jimmy G is in his contract, but if he does that, is he going to get a big deal from somewhere? Are the 49ers going to try to deal Trey Lance?
I don't think there's a world where the 49ers win and Jimmy G gets MVP.
Jimmy G is the perfect analog to Nick Foles, barring the Carson Wentz getting hurt. Because he's not gonna. Didn't Nick Foles go to the Jags after his big?
I mean, I think he was the backup for the Eagles for another year, right? Or
Okay.
am I wrong with that?
So
This would be nice to fact check. I think he went somewhere else right away. Did he go to the Bears? No. He definitely went to the Jags.
point being, he didn't do much after winning the Super Bowl, and I think if Jimmy G does that, I want to go on air saying I'm not sure he'll go get a big deal and move the needle for someone.
Whatever. He went to Jacksonville, a 4-year, $88 million contract. What a crap show of an organization.
Oh, man.
Because Foles would finish the 2019 season with only 4 starts in 4 games, throwing for 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So, and then he was traded to the Bears for a 4th-round draft pick. Competed with Mitchell Trubisky for starting quarterback position. Man, that's bad football right there. But yeah, anyways, with that being said, I could see the same thing for Jimmy G. Jimmy G, what you got going for you is you're the sexiest man in football.
That's true.
There's no doubt about that.
I don't let my wife watch those games.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you said there's no world where he is Super Bowl MVP. I don't think that's true.
I think like a Deebo Samuel or a is it Brandon Ayuk or a Kittle or an Elijah Mitchell really shows up and like steals the show.
Yeah, Elijah Mitchell may be like the first rookie running back to get Super Bowl MVP.
I do think it would be Deebo Samuel if it was anybody
because he's just everywhere.
He's so powerful.
He's like Cordero Patterson, but better.
a little faster, a little.
Yeah. I think it would be a little entertaining if the Rams went and we saw like Aaron Donald be MVP.
As much as I don't like the Rams, seeing Matthew Stafford get a ring would be really honorable for his work.
I just can't imagine someone with that dumpster fire of a uniform winning the Super Bowl.
The Rams?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Whoa.
I love their jersey.
It looks like a USFL like jersey.
Come on. My favorite thing about it is that it says Rams in a patch up here. It's not like across the front. I think that's unique. Who has the best jerseys is the Chargers.
I'll get behind that. You pull up a picture?
Yeah, we'll get a pic.
Picker didn't happen. Oh, man. The Chargers losing to the Raiders was a real L. That's crazy. Yeah. The whole, did you know about that?
They lost to their jerseys, too, because the Raiders are better. What were you saying?
So it was week 18, and if...
Check that out.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, that's good. Some good mixing and matching they can have going on there.
I just don't like the modern look for football jerseys, boys. I'm sorry.
So do you hate the Falcons?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't dig that.
The gradient's terrible.
I think it feels like off-brand. I'm not sure why NFL design they have so much money and it's so forgettable. That is so forgettable to me. But the St. Louis Rams, Kurt Warner, I remember those. That was that dark blue. They had those gold pants. That's That's money right there.
That's Fi.
That's fine. And Michael Vick era Falcons jerseys. It's like,
Bro, that's the same damn jersey. I mean, that's from a movie.
That's not what I'm talking about.
That's
okay?
a movie. Where you at? Those?
Yes. Come on, somebody.
That's funny.
Dude, those are bad.
No, they're not. They're great.
I don't know. I don't see much difference, honestly.
There's a huge difference. It's the contrast. And it's the numbers too. People are doing these like super modern numbers, like the Falcons, the Rams. These are all these like.
That's nice. I'm sorry. I feel like if those are the least modern numbers I've seen, maybe it's just the 9. That's just a freaking 9, dude.
It's got a gradient though.
When a 9's a 9.
Do you guys think Calvin Johnson could come back and be relevant?
How old is he?
Are there talks of that?
No, he would never.
I mean, he was so got better than everyone.
He's 36.
No.
Dude, he was born in Noonan?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Georgia Tech boy.
I got family in Noonan.
Yeah, he's probably a little too old, but I just think about what could have been.
Like
I think
if
he
played for a
plays
better team.
he plays for a better team and he plays his whole career. Doesn't re-sign with the Lions like he did. I think he's the greatest wide receiver of all time.
Probably. 4.3, 40-yard dash. What is it? 6'6"? 6'6".
5.
I mean, it's like Julio, but I mean, did he get hurt?
Calvin?
Yeah.
He dealt with some injuries.
So it's sort of a
That's kind of why
adjacent.
he quit. He's just like, I'm not going to offer up my body for a trash organization that doesn't care about winning at all.
Wow, direct quote.
Yeah.
The Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford swap was really interesting to see how that would unfold during a whole season. And just goes to show, you're just a product of the system you're around if you're not like a total beast, right?
But what a testament to Sean McVay, is that his name? Mm-hmm. How great of a quarterback coach he is. Mm-hmm. That he took Jared Goff to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and like multiple playoffs.
Yeah. That's nuts. And then so you put a truly great quarterback underneath him. What do you have? Truly great. He's great. Maybe not truly great.
I just remember in fantasy when he was with the Lions, he would always put up like 400 passing yards or something, and they would still lose. They would still lose all the time. It's kind of like Matt Ryan a little bit. He always has awesome numbers, but we lose.
When do they do awards? Are they going to do like Rookie of the Year and MVP and stuff like that?
I think it might be before the Super Bowl, like
Yeah.
the week in between.
It's the Thursday before the Super Bowl.
You think Jamar Chase is going to be Rookie of the Year?
Yeah. And unless it was a total, it won't be Kyle Pitts. But maybe it will. I don't know.
I was like Najee Harris.
I mean,
Elijah Mitchell?
Kyle Pitts had a historic season, which is
Yeah.
kind of funny to think. It was like an underwhelming historic season because of the team he plays for.
Sorry.
You guys think Matt Ryan's gone?
No.
No. One more year?
Although the Falcons, I feel like for my entire childhood, they were always so incredibly underwhelming with their personnel decisions. But for them to like get rid of Julio, and I feel like there was some other kind of crazy moves in there. Like I think them dumping Julio was like we're seeing now such a great decision.
It's just like different administration that's maybe more willing to make the moves to win.
Right. Yeah.
You guys think we get a first round out of Calvin Ridley?
Like trade him?
I think he's gone. Yeah, he's almost certainly gone from what I'm hearing
But from the Falcons or the NFL?
from the Falcons.
Oh, he's back? I just thought he was like quit.
No, I don't want to speculate too much. I have seen a lot of articles that are more like
He just doesn't want to play for the Falcons.
it's a little bit of a decision to not play for the Falcons.
Oh. I mean, that's a tough sell. I think anytime you have off-field troubles, it's hard to like how Antonio Brown, one of the best receivers, and
Ever.
like star receiver for Pittsburgh, got traded for a 4th round to
Yeah.
to where? Where'd he go?
Raiders.
I was gonna say the Raiders or the Patriots will pick up Ridley.
Take the challenge.
I mean, but we got a 2nd round pick for Julio, and Calvin Ridley was producing way more than Julio like even during that season. So
Gosh, he's good. He's
it's
good.
so that puts me in like, okay, if we get a 2nd round, I'm okay with that. But then I'm just so scared we're gonna draft a freaking wide receiver in the 1st round, and we just don't need that, especially when we could pick up. Hear me out, Odell Beckham. I know it's a little crazy, but he could be like a good star factor for the city of Atlanta. He's pretty good. Him next to Kyle Pitts, kind of put Kyle Pitts into that official like Travis Kelce spot.
Russell Gage has got talent.
Yeah.
He made some awesome moves this year, like really surprising catches.
The depth is low after that. Zacchaeus.
But if we have
Tajay
Patterson
Sharp.
back on a deal, and we
Yeah.
get a good young running back, say in like the 3rd or 4th round, to where Patterson can split out wide a little more, that's a little interesting.
What do you think our 1st round should be, if not a receiver?
Well, a lot of people are,
Paper,
What are the papers saying?
a lot of people are saying it'll just be best player on the board, with how high we are. I think we're number 8, right? Yeah, we're number 8.
I feel like our defense is still trash.
It is, and a lot of people are saying we're going to do corner.
AJ
like
Terrell was,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
a beast.
We need a good safety. Remember that year we had
Keanu.
Keanu Neal, and then that guy who used to hit so hard and was kind of dirty, and he got fined.
KZ.
KZ. I think it was
DeMonte KZ. Yeah, he plays for the Cowboys.
Yeah, that was wild. And we had Devondre Campbell, who's like popping off at on like, what is he now? Who's he on? He's like the tackle leader for whatever team he's on now. Devondre Campbell.
This one is bad. If this happens, I might not be a Falcons fan anymore.
Come on.
Wait, what does it say?
Sam Howell, quarterback, North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't need that.
It's
We
kind of
do
like
not
how
need that.
the Giants got like Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
It's kind of similar.
we need an alpha at quarterback. We need someone with pizzazz, like a Vic.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who's playing ball right now.
This is not the year to draft a quarterback.
No,
It's not. Wait another year, and I mean, even if we deal Matt Ryan and we start freaking Felipe Franks this year, and then try to get the number 1 or end up trading up for the number 1 and get Bryce Young, call it a day.
he's good. He's very good.
Ball can play.
Ball can play ball.
Someone super dynamic like that. That'd be way better of a play, in my opinion. And like, I'm just a football genius.
Yeah,
Right.
Isn't that funny? Like, you really think like that something's obviously smart and they're just doing something completely different, but they know way more, but then it doesn't work out. So you're like, was my idea actually the better idea? Or was I just like way more bad ideas behind their bad idea and they were just closer to a good idea?
I do think about that often. People are so opinionated with football and so emotionally invested, me included. And with that comes so many, ideas that don't get chosen.
You know, it was one of the hardest games to watch this season was the Cowboys absolutely like ground pound the Falcons
Yeah.
because Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator and he was just like,
He's wearing that backwards hat now. He never used to wear those hats. with
He's
Falcons.
getting a head coaching job. You guys know that?
really?
I mean, he's getting interviewed by a crazy amount of people, which would be interesting to see if he went somewhere and won.
Yep, there's his backwards hat. See? Top right.
Yep. I know he went like cool
Look at that.
when he went to the Cowboys.
He looks so cool. He grew out his beard a little bit.
He's got an interview with New York.
oof.
That'd be interesting,
Yep.
That
but
just doesn't sound good.
we'll see. I mean,
Who could turn that around? I mean,
that's the funny thing about the freaking New York sports market, man. It's like you're in the biggest market anywhere in the world, And you so you would think, and you see that a little bit with the Nets right now in basketball. Like, they have the star power.
Mm-hmm.
They could win it all. But organizations like the Knicks, the Giants, the Jets, I mean, obviously
The Mets.
The Mets, Mets, off-season champions every year. And then in reality, what's up.
Come on.
But it's funny. You would think just that market, the money you'd have behind you, doesn't really amount to much.
Yeah.
Would you guys rather see football? This will be my last question. We're running long here.
I was thinking we should cut off our sports segment as a bonus.
Bonus episode.
Because we're probably almost like 2 hours at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's fine. Long form's fine. We're at 2 hours 6 minutes.
I don't know, but I just think it'd be fun to do a bonus.
People, yeah, we'll deliberate on that after, or maybe we should have a little argument on air, show them what it's like.
Yeah. You piece of junk.
Where was I going with that?
Do you think that football...
do you think that football should get away from a salary cap and just have a luxury tax the way that other sports do?
Could you break that down?
Yeah, so maybe Google would be better at that.
Not knowing... Oh, it came up.
A luxury tax is an amount that is paid by a team when they have a payroll that is over a certain amount. So it's a really interesting concept because you do end up having more of those super teams. So traditionally, the Lakers have a crazy amount of luxury tax because, they have Kobe, they have Shaq, etc. So you have a team like that. Or in baseball, it's like the Yankees pay a crazy amount of luxury tax, but they don't care at the end of the day. They're bringing in so much revenue. Their ownership has so much money. They can just do whatever they want. But then you have other teams that aren't willing to spend the money that just suck. Mm-hmm. Versus in football where you have a salary cap and you just don't go over the salary cap. Mm-hmm. Do you guys think it would just create more super teams and would make it worse? Or do you think that all the teams would put up the money to see what happens?
Well, back to Ethan's socialism point, I think I actually like the salary cap in NFL because if it is
Marxist.
if it is a competition, which it is, boys.
It is?
It's great to have everybody play by the same rules. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have a salary cap, it's almost like you're taking that rule off. It's like one team gets to play on a 60-yard field instead of a 100-yard field. Obviously that would never happen. But if one organization has a ton of money, then that's obviously an advantage.
I totally agree. I was reminded of the world of Formula One, right? Where there was no cap for how much you can spend on your car. And I mean, for the last X 100 million years, Mercedes just runs it.
Yeah.
And anyone that's interested in the game is just interested in how everyone else is doing. But Mercedes is always winning. I'm like,
yeah. I think they're making moves to make it more fair, right?
Yeah. I think either this year or next, there's a cap. The cap is very high. I think it'll make Mercedes drop their spending, but it would have everybody else would have to spend millions and millions more to even
it's a
get
step
to
in
that
the right
point.
Direction.
Yeah,
it just then becomes NASCAR is kind of taking the same steps with their new generation of cars. You have to, it shows more about being a good driver than it does. Which how does that relate in sports? Because it's not a one man operation. I have your crew and stuff, but
with football, it's if the NFL, everybody has the same salary cap. It's kind of emphasizes the role of GM and owner. It's okay, you have this amount of money. How are you going to allocate it? Are you going to invest very heavily in a head coach? Kind of like a Duke you know, and not wait, NCAA basketball, like you got Coach K and he's just got these random slow kids that he just coaches them up to be elite. Or Bill Belichick, you know, of course he had Tom Brady for so long, but they would always just have these no names or these washed up people and make it into something awesome. Like they're obviously investing very heavily in their coaching. And then instead of, it doesn't matter if you have these superstar teams. So, you know.
And as much as I don't even want to say this, being a Falcons fan, I think the Saints did a really good job of that with probably paying Sean Payton and Drew Brees exorbitant amounts of money and maybe some defenders, but like they bring on some crazy raw talent that, you know, could turn out to be really strong. Like I guess Michael Thomas came from Ohio State. He was probably more beloved, but like Alvin Kamara wasn't like super, I don't think he was super well known. And then
Tennessee, right?
Tennessee, yeah. Still awesome, but I think they always did such a good job with scouting.
A lot of that was our GM, Terry Fontenot.
And that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Not afraid. Thanks, Terry.
So, you know, I think they're pretty candid about our cap situation. And they're just like, you know, we still have a couple years to get to where we want to be. And he always talks about, you know, like the best free agency is within your own organization, which is to say like, you know, retain your players and pour into them and develop them, which is a total Arthur Blank thing. So it makes sense that they would be aligned there. So I think that's interesting, but I think we have to make some moves in free agency. Like both sides of the line are so terrible that we have to, I don't know where we go. I don't know what it's looking like as far as like offensive line free agency versus defensive line free agency, but we have to do something.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting. We've taken the approach to go new with offensive line. We've been drafting a lot, but I feel like we've been bringing in older guys on the line, like Dante Fowler.
He's off our books this year, which will be nice.
Yeah.
$15 million a year salary.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Was he just a 1-year contract?
This was his second year with us, right?
It 2? He was hurt for a while, I think.
Or I think we might have extended him 1 year or something. I don't know, but I know that this was his second season with us.
I think it's cool to like, I don't know if this is cool, but it's interesting to see how people play around the cap as well. Like if they just want to be a part of the team. Like I think like Brady is known for like taking a smaller salary.
Matt Ryan, if you're listening.
Think about it. You got plenty of money, man.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun to watch those things fall into place, especially if people are being, you know, team players.
So is every team hitting their salary cap, you think? Like for sure?
I don't think so. I'm honestly just not that knowledgeable on that sort of stuff. I know, you know, like the last year the Dolphins were like way under. So it was just like, what are they going to do in free agency? I remember whenever I'd play Madden and I would like make a franchise, I'd always be the Dolphins because I knew I was going to have crazy amounts of money at the end of the year.
That's funny.
I would assume that the Jaguars are probably in the same spot. It's just like the bad teams usually have some cap to play with because they've dealt their players mid-season to try to go into rebuild mode or whatever. I feel like the Falcons are a little bit of an exception. It's just our previous GM just did not do us well with the decisions.
Dimitrov.
You know, old players with big contracts and stuff. And we'll see. We'll see where we go. But I would love Fontenot's really, is that how you say his name? Fontenot or Fontenot?
Is it ONT at the end or OT?
I think it's ONT.
Then I guess it would be.
So no idea what happened to our audio there at the end. We apologize for that, but you get the picture. Terry Fontenot, love the guy. It's all good. So yeah, if you're still around listening to all of this, we really appreciate you. We love you, and we will see you next week. In the meantime, if you could share this with your friends, like, subscribe, comment, all those things, it really helps a lot. So yeah,